Okay, I'm going to try for like the 6th time now to do this video. I have started this video like 6 times, and 6 times I've had interference. I don't know if it's karma out here or somebody just don't want me doing this video. But I'm a stubborn asshole. I'm going to do this video regardless of how many people can interfere. Okay? I'm just going to cut them right on off and say, hey, tough shit. Tough shit. Okay, you're not interfering. Okay? I mean, it's sort of like, let's do anything we can to stop this guy from showing the people this. Okay? And that's sort of what this is like. And I know that's not the truth of what's happening, but boy, it sure seems like it. But anyhow, I'm going to try for the 6th time now. Okay, I want to play this. I want you to listen to it. And I got some things I'd like to say. And hopefully I can get through this recording without somebody being a wise ass and interfering again. Anyhow, let's go on.
But when there is a horrific crime, what has happened, and especially that's involving people who identify as incels, is they're also then identified as a lone wolf.
Right.
But are they really a lone wolf when they're operating in a community like this? It seems to me that they are part of something bigger here.
In the actual act itself, these men may be acting somewhat individually. But if we just focus on that action and that moment, and maybe even his history, we miss this larger community that's reinforcing the beliefs that are underlying those violent acts.
Absolutely.
And that's a mistake.
Okay, so what they're really saying here is simple. You're not allowed to have an online group. You're not allowed to have an online community. And how dare you associate with each other and support each other? Because if you support each other because you're all going through the same thing, then you're a cult. You're ISIS. You're Al-Qaeda. That's right. Do you follow what I'm telling you? This is really what these clowns are trying to say. And the real reason they don't want you to have a support group is for the fact people start figuring out what's going on. Figuring out who their real enemy is. Figuring out that this has all been socially engineered. Figuring out what I've been screaming at you is the actual truth. It's sort of like, shut your mouth, take what we've done to you. Shut your mouth, take what we've done to you, and live with it. What we've done is we've figured out a way to say, well, as on an individual basis, they may act out, but it's the group online they're talking with, it's the group of people getting together that's encouraging this. No, there's no truth to that. Okay, let's just jump off topic a minute then, okay? Let's talk about ISIS, okay? Yes, they're a terrorist group. We had to be scared of them. Yep. And it wasn't even a group of people. Well, there was a group of 2 people who got together and initially started it. And then that 2 people went and told their other people that they were in charge of. Yes, that's right. And they were great order followers who carried out their orders and followed their orders and did their orders because they were great order followers. So let's talk about ISIS. Yep, the actual creators of ISIS. Oh, that's right. Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Yeah, that's not a lie. That's fact. Okay, now I know I jumped off topic for a minute, but see, I'm giving you an example of what they're trying to do. What they're trying to tell you as incel guys is that you're dangerous to society. Now let's get down to the real meat and potatoes of this video. Okay, the fact is this. TFL is not incel, will not be incel, will never be incel in a million billion years. I said this 12, 13 years ago when I come up here and I gave you the name. When TFL, True Force Loneliness, first come on scene. I separated myself from involuntary celibacy, you know, way back when. And why did I do that? Because the fact is the fact. You don't need to focus on sex or talk about sex to understand that if a couple get together and a couple love each other, the kids ain't just born out of nothing. To understand it's natural, human beings will do. But you've taken a topic that people do naturally, and you've put it at the front of everything. And if you look into incel, you see the words all over the internet. It don't matter where you go. Everybody associates incel with guys who can't get sex. Guys who can't get sex. Then you got clowns that come along that took TFL and thought they could shove it into involuntary celibacy. So you could say that they're just guys who can't get sex. When the reality is TFLers ain't worried about sex. That's the last thing on their mind. They're not worried about sex at all. They want friendship, companionship, a partner, a mate for life, which is the relationship. Sex is not the relationship. Sex is only one little fragment of a relationship. But you took that little fragment and you tried to stretch it into this gigantic thing that it's not. And that's one of my major reasons for ever, never becoming associated with involuntary celibacy. Because that's for the guys that only want to get laid and they can go get a prostitute, a call girl, whatever they want, an escort, and quit whining about it. That's the way I feel about that. For the guys who say no, I want a companionship, a mate for life, somebody to grow old with, somebody to have children with and raise a family with. For all of you guys that feel that way, what the hell are you doing talking about not getting laid? Don't you understand that's what's being used as a weapon against you right now? So no, TFL will never be incel in a million years. And anybody that says TFL is, clearly don't know what the hell they're talking about. And there are people that are telling me that, there's a lot of incel guys that are actually TFLers. Well, they may be so. But if they're incel and they feel the same way I do, okay, when I created TFL, the TFL was men who ain't worried about sex. They want a companion in their life. If these people calling themselves incel feel that way, then I guess you better drop that damn label and you better come over here and be what you really are. If you're ashamed of the name, well, just think how ashamed you're going to be when the powers to be that are pushing this get their want. Did you hear how dangerous you are? Did you pay attention to what was being said there? Did you pay attention to anything I've said even in my last video? Do you realize what they're doing to you? They're painting you out to be a cult. The new ISIS. The new Al-Qaeda. The new dangers to society. Dangers to society. If you get mad, I can understand the anger. You come up because you've been pushed out. You've been denied a life that you get to watch everybody else have in your face. I can understand the anger, the hurt, the depression, and everything that comes with it. Believe me, I know. But if you come up and make a video and you call for, no, there is no more interference, shut up, okay? And you come up and make a video and you call for violence, you talk about how you hate women, are you going to do this or this? Or you're going to talk like the actor Elliot Rodgers did, that there's going to be pay, I'm getting even. then you will be considered a terrorist. And you will be labeled that. You will become a threat. The problem is you will make everybody around you look the same way. You need to understand that Elliot Rodgers is an actor. Never happened. It was all a Hollywood script. The Canada, run me over. An actor. Never happened. A script. Parkland shooting. Never happened. An exercise drill. A FEMA military exercise drill. That's right. Nobody died. The real events they don't want to talk about. We don't see that in the list. I've just showed you in the last, couple, 3 weeks. I've given you a lot of information and showed you a lot of clips in your face on this topic. Okay, on this topic. They're moving on the manosphere. I told you this. I warned you of this 4 or 5 months ago. Okay? And everywhere I turn, there's more evidence showing you how they're piling their evidence. They always pile their evidence in this fashion before they make their move to create a law to come after you with. The question mark is, do you want to be labeled a terrorist? Because then they're going to be at the door hauling you off. And anybody else that's speaking out will be lumped into that category. And there'll be a big raid set up that may take a year, 2 years to set up, where one day out of nowhere, hundreds of people across the United States are suddenly rounded up as law enforcement works together and raids all these different places, taking out and arresting people that's done nothing to nobody because you had a support group online, because you talked about your problems. I suggest you keep your anger bottled up and keep it to private friendship matters in an email, just talking back and forth with each other only. I suggest that you keep your anger bottled up and held within and keep yourself in check, because they are moving in and you're going to give them their ammunition. They've already created their ammunition through a bunch of fraudulent, phony, baloney events. And I wanted you to hear this because what's really going on here is you're not allowed to have a community on the internet of guys that are being shoved out, and they know they're being shoved out because it's all been socially engineered. They know you're telling the truth, but now they want to use what they've done to you to furtherly victimize you more, which is what our society's done forever. What does the bully do? The bully gets praised and glorified and approval to be a bully. The victim of the bully gets victimized and victimized and victimized. Then if the victim of the bully strikes back against the bully, then the victim of the bully becomes the monster, the predator. That's right, the villain. And the bully becomes the victim, even though the bully was never the victim. And now the bully's a victim of what? What he created. That's right, what he created. Because he bullied and bullied and bullied and bullied until the victim couldn't take it no more. And the victim fought back. But when the victim fought back, you all called the victim a monster, a perpetrator. And you called the bully that you were protecting a victim. Well, that's what's going on here. You better understand that. That's what's going on here. So see, you incel guys, you're under attack, and they've tried to lump TFL in with incel. They're trying hard. Turd flinging monkey, which is a man flinging propaganda, an agent, probably most likely military, media, industrial complex. He's took and broke it down, and he shoved TFL and incel together. He sure did. And for as long as I've been doing TFL, because I'm the one who gave you the name, it's not the first time I've had them shoved together. It's happened since the very beginning. And I've been told many times over the years that TFLers are dangerous to society. What are they saying about incellers? They're dangerous to society. Do you see how they've lumped us together when we're not together? Do you see how they avoid the truth like the plague? It's no different than if you bring up the manosphere and you talk about men's rights activists. They've never, ever, 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 ever talked about where the problem came from. The root cause. Neither is turd flinging monkey. Oh, that's right. Neither is Coach Red Pill. Neither has Monday Forever on Monday. What do all these entities have in common? They all tuck their tails between their legs and run like the cowards they are from the root cause. Why do they do that? Because they're told and paid money for doing what they're doing. Under no condition are they to ever talk about the root causes. They're not to bring up the Fabians. They're not to bring up the Masons, the Freemasons. They're not to bring up who controls the media, who controls Hollywood. They're not to talk about how it was socially engineered, how our behaviors come from this. They're not to talk about the root causes. That's right, they're to run and never acknowledge the root cause. And why would they do that? Because they don't want it coming back on them. They understand that if people knew the root cause, then they would know who the real enemy is. But with that being said, you better take heed on the stuff I've been telling you. It's all in your face. You can keep turning your heads all you want, but I don't feel sorry for ignorance. When the shit hits the fan and you find out that I was telling you the truth, I don't hear you whining or bitching or moaning or yelling or screaming and around. You're at fault. I've been warning you, and I've been warning you. And you can either take it seriously and get your heads out of you know what and start standing together and fighting back, or you can die the coward you are on your knees as you kept turning your head. Take your pick.